What is up, Diecast friends, family? Today we haven't done a podcast for a while, and in fact, I haven't even. Let me get a little closer to the mic here. Um, I haven't even done a video podcast really like this with this kind of software. So we're gonna give it a run. I'm looking like a mountain man. Haven't shaved in a while. Um, hat is a mess. It's all dirty. I've been working in it. Hard work. It's hard work. Sweat stains. It's hard work, people. Anyways, enough of that. So, the key of this today, we're going to talk about ddog, Diecast Day of Giving, October 14th. Save the date, please. Start collecting those cars. We are going to have, last year we collected a little bit over 10,000 cars for kids, sick kids, less fortunate kids. And this year we're shooting for, let's shoot for 20,000. I would say that's an easy number to get to compared to last year because I think we've reached more people. So if you can't give, you don't have any money, if you don't have any extra cars, which I generally find that hard to believe if you're a collector. If you're a collector, you've got extra cars. Looking right over here, I got extra cars over there. I'm going to give away as much as I possibly can because, like I say, one car equals one smile for these kids. So just keep that in mind. If you've got some cars that you don't really need, or you've got duplicates, you got ones that I'm gonna do something with those someday, one day. Give them away. Give them away. Just do it. So I just encourage you to give as many cars away as possible. I promise you won't miss most of them. You won't even know that they're gone because if you have a large collection like myself, you get rid of some cars and you're like, oh man, I wish I had that. I wish I had that basic zoom in that I found. Man, I wish I still had that. Wish I wouldn't have given that away. No, it's all joking aside. I just last year was a big event. There was a flooding of emails. The way that it works, if you're new to this, I'm going to update some information on the website, and there's some big announcements. I'm going to change the name of Hot Wheels for Hope, so it's still up. Probably just going to reroute some things, still own the domain and everything like that. But we're going to do a name change, but I'm still going to put up some new information there so people can go look and see like kind of what it's all about and how many cars that we've raised. I'm going to reset the number from last year. It was a little bit over 10,000. I'm going to reset that and then we'll start over again. And yeah, I'm really hoping for 20,000 cars. That would be amazing, or more. Shoot to the moon. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. So, Diecast Day of Giving, it's an event to where it started out where people were just sending the cars to my house. And that was not last year, but the year before. And that was some 4,000 something cars were sent to my house and flooded my house. And there's boxes and cars everywhere. It was great, but the amount of shipping costs were crazy. Like there was $100 on this box, $50 on that box. So it's a lot of wasted. I mean, in my eyes, it was a lot of wasted money. Not so much. There was no waste for the cars coming to get to the kids, but it's so much easier to have us help you find a local charity to where you can take that extra $50 and you can put that to that charity too, or you can buy more cars and give more cars away. So I just found that to be a little bit. It was a test run, so I found it to be a little bit wasteful, the money that went into shipping, because shipping is so expensive nowadays. So yeah, so what we do is we get everybody rallied up, mostly in the US, but there's people all over the world, Canada, Switzerland, Andrew over there, Indonesia, Kibo over there. There was a lot of people all over the world that were raising cars and getting it to kids. So you basically round up as many cars as you can. Hot Wheels. I don't care what. The first year I did it, I just said Matchbox and Hot Wheels only. Now I don't care. There's no reason. You could be Matchbox. It could be It could be some nicer stuff, because there's older kids that appreciate this kind of stuff, maybe teenagers or tweens, teens, so they can appreciate the finer die cast. So it doesn't really matter just as long as it's new and in the box. So we want to keep things like sanitized and clean too when we're giving it to, especially when they're going to children's hospitals and stuff. You want everything to be like clean. So go get yourself some die cast or any stuff that you have extra. If you have like 20 extra cars or 50 or 100, or the biggest thing that I'd like to focus on too is people, if you want to get rid of your collection or somebody in the family's passed away and they had a large collection of unopened cars, then we'll try to facilitate getting those to kids, and instead of getting sold off on eBay or something. We'd much rather see them go to less fortunate kids and sick kids. So yeah, if you've got any questions, you can email me. I'll give you. I've got my regular email like at the Hot Wheels for Hope, but I'm going to give you a new email too because it started a new site, and we'll see what happens with that. We're looking into going into full nonprofit with it. It's expensive. It's time consuming. We started a business a couple of years ago, and that was not that hard, really. But looking into nonprofits, it's a lot more vetted. There's a lot more loops and startup costs and stuff like that because there's probably too many people trying to take advantage of that system. So yeah, I'll get into the that stuff later here in this podcast. So yeah, collect your cars, get them to your local charities, Samaritan's Purse, Red Cross, Salvation Army. Local food banks are a big thing too, because there's a lot of kids that come through there. That's one of the biggest things that I learned from the first year that we did it, is that food banks, really good places to donate cars to, because a lot of kids come through there. I gave one of these big display cases with a bunch of cars in it so that the kids could pick through it. So if you have extra stuff like this, I'll probably be giving away both of these this year as well. And I just got to find the right spot for them to where kids can kind of go up and they can kind of look through them. So collect some cars, go to the store, buy some cars. If there's going to be, I'm going to try to figure out ways if I try to keep my hands off money as much as possible. Of course, sometimes it's needed. But if you need me to buy some stuff and donate it or help finding a place to buy cars, and some people aren't collectors and they're new to it and they want to help. So we'll figure it out. If you have any questions, you can contact me. You can just leave a comment below here too. But yeah, so it's going to be big this year. So donate cars to your local charities. We're not going to be sending them to me anymore because it's just it doesn't have as far of a reach by any means. So whether you're in Canada or Indonesia or you're in North Carolina, find a good place. And if you need help finding a place to donate, just hit us up and we'll help you for sure. And we want to, over the years here, we want to connect with bigger charities and do some collaborations with diecast companies. And we want to make this become like a really big thing every year, kind of like Toys for Tots, like the way that they get toys together. This will be primarily just diecast related, but who knows, what the future holds. So we're open to a lot of different things, and I'm always open to people with ideas reaching out, because I'm not going to think of things by myself, and it's going to grow, and I'll need more help. And you got people like Jason Mustang Hunter helping out. He did a car show last year, and he plans on doing something similar this year, and he's already started raising cars. And then we got Chuck and David are really excited about this year's too, and they're helping out a lot as well. And then we've got some other people like Derek, Honest Diecast, Big A, Andrew over there in Switzerland, and Pete, Paco. So we're gonna get together and try to make this thing a big event this year, like way bigger than last year. And just every year we want to like just the number to double. What if we could get this thing into the hundreds of thousands eventually? Like, just that'd be nuts because I think it's doable. I really do. With so many collectors out there, if especially just in the US, there's millions of collectors. If everyone donates a car, that's millions of cars. So if we can get a fraction of the people out there involved to donate, easily do a couple 100,000 in the future. Just need to get the word out. So if you can't donate, the biggest thing you can do is spread the word. Spread the word on Facebook, spread the word on Instagram, spread the word to your local people. Like if you know collectors that are generous type people, if they're not generous and you need to fight them and take some of their cars, that's not cool. Don't do that, please. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be as you can see, I get all fired up about it just talking about it. It's gonna be a big event this year, so feel free to reach out with any questions this year. I'll give you contact info below in here, so you can contact me via email. You can hit me up on Instagram too, Dotsaman Diecast, and yeah, there's a lot of places you can hit me up. So there's that. So Diecast Day of Giving. I'm going to skip down here. I got a list of things to talk about. There's a lot going on. I'm only going to touch some of it. So Hot Wheels for Hope is what I started it out as when we did our first event. And the main objective, and the real only main objective, is to get diecast cars to sick and less fortunate kids. And that's it. And no matter what, like, it's going to happen every year, whether I do it or somebody else does it. The one thing to take away from this is it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the kids. And one car equals one smile. Because if you were a kid once, which we all were, and we're still, most of us collectors that love these tiny cars, we're still kids. This brings back a really nostalgic feeling, and that's why a lot of people do it. And then you get into modifying these cars, or you get into all kinds of different aspects of what these cars hold and how powerful these things are, because a lot of these things got us into the real size cars. And I think a lot of us are really passionate about that. So these cars mean a lot to people, especially kids. Maybe they're going through cancer, leukemia. Maybe they're going through just some major hardships in their lives where their parents, are just struggling to get by. And to know that there's people out there that are getting them these cars to help them through that, as silly as some non-collectors and customizers may think that may be, these little cars. Do you think this is going to fix everything? Well, no, but it's going to help, and it's going to let them know that we're thinking about them, and that we're rooting for them, and that we're praying for them, and that we care about them and their well-being. And we know how special these little cars are to us. I mean, I think we can all remember our first diecast. I have a couple of my first diecast cars. Gosh, in fact, one of them was nearby, but I'm sure I'll get my eyes on it here. I don't know where it went, but oh, here it is. So this is one of my first diecast cars. It's not a Hot Wheels. It's not a Matchbox. It's a Keto car, or Kidco, 1981. So it's a hand-me-down. I didn't get it. I don't think I got a single brand new Hot Wheel as a kid. Not that we were poor or anything, but it's just, these are hand-me-downs, and there's nothing wrong with hand-me-downs. So, I mean, I still have it. I still love this car. But to be able to get these kids brand new cars that maybe their parents can't afford it, or whatever their circumstances are, it's an amazing thing, and it's life-changing, because there's people out there thinking about them, and they know that. And they don't really even need to know who it came from, where it came from, just that, hey, there's people out there rooting for you. And that's our main goal every year, to raise cars and to make it be an ongoing thing where people are consistently dropping cars off at their local food bank, getting people together, maybe throwing car shows, cars and coffee and putting a bin out. And every time somebody comes, because that's what I'm going to start doing this year, is going to have some cars and coffee for my business for auto detailing. And I'm going to have people bring cars, and I'm going to get a 55-gallon drum, and I'm just going to have people throw them in there every time we have a cars and coffee, or customers that come through. I'm going to be like, hey, for every car you donate, I'll take whatever amount off of the detail or whatever I need to do. Um, just make it fun for people. And yeah, it's going to be a cool thing. So if everyone can kind of do something similar to that, it's really, I just really encourage you to do so, and to not say, I can't do that, or I don't have the power to do this. Well, you do. You just need to put your heart into it, and you can accomplish big things. And if 100,000 people are donating like that, or getting some people together, or spreading the word, then that's going to make a huge impact. It really is. So I just encourage everyone to, during this time, October 14th is the day, the where we want everyone to go out and give, but they're welcome to do so within a few days of that. But I just recommend highly to put yourself on the back burner and put these kids first, at least once a year. And like I said, there, as much as you can, try to donate throughout the year as well, especially if you can absolutely can't do it during this time because of financial things, or health, or whatever you're going through. Um, just you can still spread the word. So we're going from Hot Wheels for Hope. The reason I'm changing that is because there's a history of people, if you use the Hot Wheels, there's trademark, there's it's a trademark. There's going to be some issues I could see later on down the road if it gets really big. And so I'm just going to go ahead and change it before so that we don't run into any copyright issues. So it's going to go from Hot Wheels of Hope to Driven Dreams. So Driven Dreams is, I had reached out, I think it was yesterday, to Jason at Mustang Hunter Diecast, and he, I think, put it through an AI generator with some keywords and stuff like that, and which is something that I had thought of doing, but is genius, because it just kind of helps you. We came up with a handful of names, and I had thought of some myself that just weren't clicking, but it just really, it leaves it short and simple, and open to other car related things later on down the line. So Driven Dreams, it's, you just think of these little cars and the way you drive them, and kids' dreams and aspirations to become a race car driver, or to own a car like this, or to become a mechanic, or to go and watch these cars race. I mean, a lot of us gearheads, we've got, gasoline in our blood. It just flows through us. We love it. You're a car person when you hear a car drive by, and you hear that note, and you're looking like, what was that? So yeah, it's gonna be cool. We'll make some. I just purchased a website, so we'll be able to get a logo soon, hopefully, and change some things, because it'll be probably try to link our old website to this. It's going to be a little crazy trying to change all that stuff up, but I'm highly motivated. And so yeah, and another thing before I just came in here and started doing this podcast is thinking about how complicated it is starting a nonprofit, because we would really like to start it and make it a nonprofit so that we can take donations, money wise, cars wise, give people tax write offs. It's really difficult to do. It's very expensive, and it's doable for sure, but it's challenging, because I think there's a lot of people out there that do it for the wrong reasons, but or have done some really shady things. But our number one goal is getting cars to kids, and sometimes there's a lot of costs associated with things. Is, you need money at a certain point. We try to stay away from that, just from people donating to their local areas. It seems a little bit simpler to do that. But as it grows, we would like to see if we can do that. There's no promises yet, but we're looking into making it a nonprofit. So yeah, there's going to have to be some funding and stuff like that, and that all gets a little tricky. But I know that it'll all work out if it's meant to be. So one thing I considered doing myself just before I got on here is selling a lot of my collection to help fund the nonprofit, because that's how strongly I believe in this. And I have a lot of cars that I've wanted to whittle down. So I'll maybe be making some announcements about trying to do some auctions and sell some stuff off to fund what it costs. It costs at least a couple $1,000 to get it started correctly. Taxes, fees, paperwork, all that kind of stuff. So keep me in your prayers about that. I'm praying about it as well. See what happens with that. It's come a long ways since it first started out, and we'll see what happens with that. But that's an idea that I had. I have no problem doing that, selling a lot of my collection to get this up and running, to be a little bit bigger and to be like an actual nonprofit, and to kind of keep some donations rolling in and stuff like that, so that we can fund things like PO boxes and shipping and events and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes need help with designs and all that stuff. It all costs money, so unfortunately. But if you have a set of skills that we can use, you're a designer, you're a graphic designer. If you have any experience with nonprofits and starting them, or you have contacts, anything that you guys got, I'll take help with for sure, because it's for the betterment of this, of raising cars for kids, and I think we all can jump on board with something like that. So yes. So October 14th, don't forget it. We'll be talking about it a lot. It's going to be in your face. I'm going to be harassing people, borderline harassing people. Give me your cars. But like I said, if you guys, a cup of coffee is about $7 nowadays. So if you want to skip a day of a cup of coffees, you can at least afford to send a few cars or drop some cars off at a local food bank, or just ask around. I'm always trying to network and ask, like, hey, let's say I have 50 Hot Wheels, where do you have a place where I could drop those off? Maybe there's a church or a food bank, or somewhere that, and there's usually always a response, like whether it's, oh yeah, I know this guy, or they said, yeah, our church or our food bank, or I know somebody who works at the food bank. So it's always good to be asking people where I can donate these cars to. And especially October 14th, we're going to be rolling into the Christmas time season, and gosh, I would much rather have too many cars than too little cars for kids. So I know that some hospitals, children's hospitals, can only take so many cars. I think I was only able to get about 750 cars to Seattle Children's Hospital the first year, which is still a lot of cars. And then I dropped probably 300 or 400 cars on Ronald McDonald, and then a bunch of cars to other places like food banks and stuff like that. There's a lot of companies out there. There's a lot of charities out there. So yeah, it's going to be a big year. Another thing I like to touch on is something just exciting news, and just very blessed with getting a custom from someone. I think if you guys saw my live yesterday that I did while I was folding towels for for my shop, I'm getting a diecast custom car from Jakarta Diecast, from Yogi, Jakarta Diecast project. And it's kind of it's surreal. I'm still pinching myself. He just shipped it out yesterday, and it's the Datsun wagon, uh, the Datsun wagon where it's pulling another half of a wagon. And that car, when it came out and I saw that video, I was so amazed. And I've been following Yogi for a few years now. And Derek on his diecast was the one that introduced me. We used to sit on the couch and watch in amazement on how well how genius he is and how well he puts these cars together, and the imagination. He's a car designer too. He's designing these projects and then putting them together, and it's in the amount of time and skill and steady hand, and it's just nuts. And the lack of materials and stuff that he has over in Indonesia. We can order something on Amazon and see it the next day. He can't do that, so he's got to really utilize everything he has in his imagination, and he has a lot of patience to put these cars together, and he pumps them out pretty quickly. I mean, he's always got a new car coming, so he's always working on it. It's what he does now. And so that's just what he does for a living. And congrats to putting in all that hard work. His videos are amazing, and he shot that with his phone for so many years. He just recently started using somebody else to help with editing and everything, so he can focus more so on the cars and building them. So it's surreal. So he's sending me that Datsun as a gift. His cars generally sell for $550+ That's where they start. And so I'm just really grateful for Yogi's friendship and for him to send me that, because he knows how much I'll appreciate it. And I would give up every single car in my collection just to own that. So I love you, Yogi. Thank you so much. He plans on, I asked him, hey, you're going to be on live with me when I open this thing, right? He said, yeah, let's do it. So look out for that. It's going to be a really cool video. I want him to see my reaction. I want to see his reaction when he sees my reaction. So that's super cool. My goal in life with cars, with like one-to-one cars, is he's always making these cars from his mind and his imagination. And it's just a really amazing thing. So my goal is to pick up a Datsun 510 wagon, and make it into a custom of his cars that he's sending me, to have the 510 with the BRE, and then another chopped up wagon pulling it behind, and maybe some airbags and stuff like that. So that's a thought. I've been considering selling my R35 GTR to get an old Hakosuka 71 Hakosuka, and then I would also probably get a 510 wagon and do that project and make it into a really cool car. I do have a paint booth. I don't paint, but time to learn, or have somebody else do it in my paint booth. So yeah, that's exciting news, and I'm really blessed to have been able to meet him online and talk to him and get to know him over this last couple of years. And I really hope that I can. Another idea of mine is to be able to pair Yogi up with another diecast company, and have them do a Jakarta diecast project car, or cars, or line. And I think that's well deserved, beyond well deserved. He is in my opinion, and I think the majority of opinion, the number one diecast, because he does Hot Wheels, but he does other diecast too, and he also does RC cars. But he's the best customizer in the world, in my opinion, and I would say in most people's opinions, because of the amount of skill that he has, and passion that goes into it. Because passion is the main thing too, because it's, as if you've been in customizing, sometimes you burn out on it and it gets old, but he's stayed true to it. And the editing and the beautiful videos that he puts together that capture, the whole process, it's truly amazing. So Yogi, if you're watching this, I love you, buddy. Thank you so much. It's such a blessing to have that car in my collection. I cannot wait to get it. I've got the tracking number. I told him I'm going to be patiently waiting at the mailbox every day, so I got to go do that right now. No, but I am going to be, super stoked when it shows up, and hopefully I can get him on and open it live with him, or at least do a pre-recorded thing. So yeah, it's exciting news right there. And if you go to my posts, you'll see a picture, and I'll try to repost his video that he did on that car, because it's just, like I said, surreal to see that car being built on his channel. Yogi has quite the following. He's like 1.5 million subscribers or something like that, and well deserved. I think he should have more, honestly, a lot more. So that's awesome. I think that's the gist of it, of the updates, what's going on in my life and stuff like that. Like I said, some of us diecast, I don't know, content creators, whatever you want to call us, we'll be getting together soon to kind of come up with game plan on raising as many cars as possible. So again, I appreciate everyone that's been involved with that, and shout out to Paco and Pete and Diecast Misfits that put together that St. Jude auction where they raised cars through customs and through like super treasure hunts and stuff like that. Also, they raised, I think, $5,000, which is incredible. And also a huge thanks to Felix at Tarmac Works for donating some cars. I reached out to him. And then also round 2, Chad over there donated some stuff signed. And then Chad Lindbergh, Jesse from Fast and Furious donated some signed merchandise when I met him down in Las Vegas. So shout out to Chad. We love you, buddy. And hopefully we can work with you more because he has a big heart for charity and for helping kids and stuff. So we'll hopefully get back together with him and do something. And there's some other people I'd like to connect with as well. So thank you, everybody that donated. There's hopefully we can get more companies involved in donating stuff. I know that Tarmac Works donates a portion of every car sold to charity. So keep that in mind when you're buying, diecast. That portion of that car is going to charity, which is amazing. So you guys rock. So I hope everyone's having a blessed day. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Feel free to share this with people. Share the news. Write down the date. Like I said, if you can't donate cars or money or your time, then just share the info with other people that might be able to donate, one of the three. So love you guys. God bless you guys. Have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you in the next podcast.